Nick Serban today?
Yeah, he's good. I haven't really had a chance to speak to him. We had the Monday and Tuesday off, so today's the first day in the club, and I haven't had a one-on-one with him. But yeah, he seems fine, and I think he's ready to go this week. He's ready to go.
It's important for you guys to rally around him, given that he's now copping heat for telling his side of the story.
Yeah, I think Nick's a really valuable member of our team, and he's got a really strong character. For Nick, all I know is that he was called upon as a witness, and he just had to recall the events of what happened, and that's what he did.
Do you think there's a player code where players don't talk about what happens on the field in that instance? If they're called up, they don't. I don't say dob with that word, but do you think that's a thing, or is that a thing of the past?
I don't really know how to comment on that, and I suppose it's probably a question for the people involved with those comments. So yeah, I'll steer clear of that stuff.
Do you think 2 weeks is a harsh enough penalty?
Look, all I know is that if I comment on the tribunal and match review panel, I'm going to cop a hefty fine from the AFL. So I won't say anything about those.
We've seen in other codes though, NRL, soccer, biting charges of up to 12 weeks. I mean, do you think the AFL is taking a hard enough line if Masten gets to?
Once again, I'm not really sure. I'm not a very avid rugby follower, so I didn't even know that there was a 12-week suspension for biting. So yeah, look, it's all over and done with now, and I think both teams will be looking forward to moving on to next week.
Do you know if Masten has apologised, or?
No idea. No. I think Chris is a really good guy, and I'm not sure if he has apologised or not. I'm not in close contact with him and haven't spoken to Nick.
How are relations between the two clubs, do you reckon, right now?
Oh, look, we're both strong competitors, and we love to win. And obviously on the weekend we didn't get the result we wanted, and I think for us we've just got to move on to next week and try and improve our footy and not worry about West Coast and what they're going to do and things like that.
There's a chance you might play them in a final pretty soon. Do you think Nick or Chris would be targeted in a game like that, do you think?
I don't think so. I think both sides are professional enough to move on, and finals are big games anyway, and I know that this derby just been was talked up as the biggest one so far, so I'm sure the same thing will happen if we do come across them in the final series.
It feels spiteful out there, don't it?
No, it didn't. Not for me. It was just two fierce teams going head to head, and West Coast were really strong and better on the day. So.
You're on Twitter. Did you see Will Schofield's tweet last night about the player code being dead?
No, I didn't actually see that. So I steered clear of Twitter over the last few days because I've probably copped a bit on there as well for the way I perform. So I haven't actually had a look.
Without giving an opinion on it, do you even know what a player code is? Does it even get talked about, or is it not a thing?
No, I've never heard of what's in the players code or anything. So for me, I'm only young, so I've been in here a few years now, and for me, I've never been involved in a tribunal incident over my short career so far. So I'm not really sure what goes on in that.
Nick's character was targeted a bit. He was called unsportsmanlike during the tribunal. What would you think of that for Nick Serban?
Nick's a really fierce competitor, and we love the way he goes about his footy. And I think you see on the field all the time guys push the line and really try and play hard and aggressive footy, and that's all Nick does. I don't think he's unsportsmanlike at all.
Do you think he'd be wary, Lachie, of just his mind and his approach this week? Do you think it's handy to have a bit of a chat to him and make sure he does get back focused on what is important? I'm
sure the guys that are really close to him and the coaching staff, if they feel the need to step in and say something to Nick and just realign him, then they will. But I think he's fine, and he, like I said, he's a really determined and aggressive player, and that's just the way he plays. So I think he'll be ready to go on Sunday, and as we all are, we're itching to get back out there.
A couple of years ago, you guys were involved in a game where Brent Harvey had to go in and talk about Ryan Crowley and gave evidence against him against the so-called player code. Did that affect your opinion of Brent?
No, not at all. Brent's a champion of the game. He's obviously played a lot of footy, and growing up I actually had a bit of a soft spot for North, so I loved the way that he played, and although he's a bit quicker than me, I tried to sort of take bits and pieces from his game growing up. So I love Brent Harvey and the way he plays.
So you guys didn't target him afterwards for his evidence when you played him the next time?
No, not at all. I think it's evident that every time we've played North, we've sort of had him as a team target, and because he can be a really damaging player. It's nothing to do with the person that he is, it's about the way he plays footy, and he's a fantastic player. So for us, we've just targeted him in trying to stop his influence.
And they're the team this week that you play. What are you looking forward to that? And Etihad Stadium, of course, trying to get a win there.
Yeah, obviously played there last week and had a win. So I suppose for us, we've just got to continue to try and improve our footy. We haven't had a look at North just yet, but that'll happen later in the week. But for us, we're just concentrating on improving our footy, and we weren't up to scratch on the weekend. So we've got main session Friday. We'll look forward to that to try and improve a couple of things that we were lacking on the weekend.
The hard surface seemed to take its toll on some of the players. Did it affect you, and how are you approaching it this week?
Not really. I know that it's been spoken about that Etihad's a hard surface, and for us, we've just got to focus on our recovery and stuff after the game, make sure we get that 100% right. And 17 other teams have to play on Etihad as well throughout the year, so it's a no excuse policy, I suppose, after playing there.
Have you done the maths about trying to finish top right now?
No,
Personally?
No, not really. We've got a really strong opponent in North this week who are up and about. They've played some really good footy over the last month and 2 months, especially since we played them last. So we're just really focused on trying to get the result over there this weekend, as that is crucial to the end of the year.
Do you expect to get Luke McFarlane back?
I'm not too sure where Luke's at. I'm pretty sure that he trained pretty strongly today. So for his sake, hopefully he's back. And with Alex going out, I think Zach's available for selection as well. So it'll be up to the match committee and later in the week to decide who comes in.
And just on Alex, obviously at the tribunal last night as well, he seemed pretty disappointed and pretty sorry. How big a blow is it for him, given he's fought so hard to get back and now to be rubbed out for 4 weeks? Yeah,
it's disappointing for Alex, but once again, we really value him and respect him as a person and a player, and he does play really hard and tough, and that was just an incident that, as you've heard, he was really remorseful for.
How do you make sure you play more like the last quarter rather than the first quarter this week?
Yeah, well, West Coast on the weekend obviously got the jump on us, and we were a bit slow and sloppy on our defensive side of the game. When they had control of the ball, we didn't find a man quick enough, and they were able to work through our defence too easily. So that'll probably be one of the main focuses going in this week.
Ball use remains a theme that the coaches talked about and you guys as players have talked about. What's going on there from your perspective, and how do you continue to improve it to get it back to where it was at the start of the year?
Yeah, I don't think there's a one key thing that we can sort of deliver on to get that back. We've just got to keep chipping away at training and in games to try and find that. And I think over the last sort of 2 to 3 weeks, we've shown glimpses of our best, but we haven't been able to put it together for 4 quarters. So we've just got to make sure that our mids and defenders, or all lines, forwards as well, are on the same page with our ball movement and leading patterns and things like that, and just getting it to click, because we'll need it in a few weeks' time, especially.
Is it a confidence thing as much as anything?
I don't think we're lacking confidence. We've shown that we can do it, but it's just making sure we do that for 4 quarters.
You weren't as clean personally on the week, a bit fumbly early. What happened there?
Yeah, I was a little bit off, particularly sloppy with the ball in hand and a couple of drop marks and stuff as well. So I can't really put my finger on anything I did in the lead up or my preparation and stuff, but it was just a really average game for me, and I can't wait to get out there this weekend and try and rectify it.
Does that burn you for most of the week then?
Yeah, it's not ideal, but we try and move on as quick as we can. And over the last couple of days, I've had a couple of sleepless nights thinking about a couple of them, but that's the beauty about our team. We've been able to back up the next week and go again, and I'll take that same approach this week.
How awkward are a team like North Melbourne to play? They've sort of been a bit inconsistent, but they've got some form going now.
Yeah, like I said, the last sort of 2 months they've hit their straps and they've played some really good footy. So we've got to be wary of them, and they've got some really good inside players with Cunnington, and I think Zeebel's out. But they're a really strong side. Petrie, those guys up forward. Higgins is in really good form, so it's going to be a good test for us, and they're one of the in-form / benchmark teams of competition. We look forward to challenging ourselves against them.